they took the raw, jointless frequencies of the Ogdoad and phased them into a stabilizing sequence. These were not gods to be worshipped, but offices to be occupied. Through these 4 orders, the 8 primordial frequencies were woven into the 12 daughter seats. The Neteru interface the joints, stone law, physical manifestation of the Kemetan seed with the jointless, eternal, and natural liquid law. Sobek held the gate, Auset held the thread, Het-Heru held the vibration, and Anpu held the exit door. Together, they ensured that the Kemetan seed was never frozen by the stone law, but remained a living, breathing current. It wasn't about power over people. It was about the interconnected management of domains. This was the initial blueprint for the 12 daughters, Isis' matriarchal seats. These priestesses were the extraordinary women who calibrated the Kemetan seed. To overstand the Kemetan seed, we must understand Sut-Carbon. Before the world was dried by the Jackal's rebellion, the law was held in blackness. Amma-Ma'at, the carbon-dense, dark-skinned reality of Earth's first people, is the soot of the primordial mound. Soot, Set, Seth, son of earth and sky, black soil, cosmic void. This carbon is more than dirt. It is a conductor, the mineral anchor for liquid law. In this embodiment phase, the Black African priestess understood the law was physically carried in her blood and in the soot beneath her feet. Melanin was the sacerdotal circuitry. To be a dark-skinned Kemetan was to be a living battery for the Amma-Ma'at current. To manage this high-voltage flow, the priestess utilized the Virga logic. As a sovereign virgin, the uncaptured Sibyl, she balanced the magnetic and electric poles within her own Black African frame. She was the black box of ancestral memory, hidden figure of the matrix. She knew that as long as the carbon remained dark and the water remained pure liquid, the seed could never be destroyed. These priestesses were the living embodiments of the Amma principle, carried by the Pneumo, beings of the water, word, and measure, grounding and stabilizing Ma'at intelligence, embodying Mami Auset throughout human civilizations. These orders and eventual matriarchal seats did not rule one another. They governed domains of life within their territories. Sobek guarded water volatility and territorial thresholds. Auset preserved continuity, lineage, and resurrection memory. Het-Heru regulated emotion through sound and social coherence. Anpu governed death, transition, and passage between states. This was the initial blueprint for the 12 daughter seats, a complete, interconnected system of governance that ensured balance, not domination. These orders did not belong to a single people frozen in place. They belonged to a lineage trained to recognize where law could live. In Chamba survival memory, land is not symbolic. It is diagnostic. Moisture, soil movement, sound carry, burial depth. These determined whether liquid law could be sustained. As such, the seed was not carried everywhere. It was planted where the land could hold it. By 4500 BCE, their capacity to hold the frequency was being burdened by exponential population growth, a direct outcome of prosperity. Liquid law preservation became restriction. Coordination across territories became necessary. Priest roles emerged. Timekeepers, builders, recorders to translate liquid law into repeatable form. But translation is not source. Priestesses remained the embodied authority of law. Priests served as its instruments. To preserve accuracy, high ritual authority narrowed into bloodlines. This was meant to protect the Kemetan seed. But by 4000 BCE, climate instability intensified. The Sahara, once green and teeming with life, dried. The Nile became less predictable. Access to law narrowed. Resentment grew. No priest could override a priestess on succession legitimacy, burial readiness, fertility time, land release, because law still lived in the body. Liquid law, meant to flow, began to constrict. Accuracy became anxiety. The river no longer rose as it once did. When the land hardened, so did the law. The once lush, fertile, seasonally flooded lands, overflowing with communal storehouses of beer, now grew arid. Under the weight of this climate compression, governance moved from womb to wall, from rhythm to record. The sacred communion with the elements was now reserved as the specialized privilege of priest and priestess. While reflective accuracy is protected, access to the mirror's operation is severed. Look again at the woman from the dawn of our story. She who brewed by scent and sound is now an outsider to her own legacy. She stands at the edge of a receding river, watching the ritual from behind a stone gate. She is the very woman who built the foundation, Yet she is now made thirsty for the liquid law that once flowed through her hands. Preservation, once meant to protect the Kemetan seed, slowly became restricted. Governance began to migrate further from the womb into stone walls, from rhythm into temples of record. Not because women failed, but because pressure demanded permanence. Stone does not forget, but it does not forgive either.